So today we're doing Apex Legends Season 11 weapons tier list ranking. We're gonna be having some fun. Let me know what you think. Tell me what you whether you agree or disagree. But we're gonna start off with the easiest one, the Kraber. I mean, is there any question that it is not an S tier, if not the best weapon in the game? Great weapon right now. I mean, never changed. Going right along with that, we've got the other heirloom weapons. And I'm honestly going to put all of them up in S tier. They're all fantastic. Spitfire is super strong. It's basically the easiest way to take down an entire squad without even reloading. Faster than the Rampage. It's super good. Alternator, great secondary weapon. Then along with the G7 Scout, it's strong. I mean, if you do a double headshot on the G7 Scout, because it does 72 damage per headshot. But yeah, you can two-shot somebody with like any shield. It's gross. But with the G7 double tap, I love it and I hate it sometimes. I know Unpopcorn absolutely loves the double tap. For me, I just find it harder to control because yeah, you do have that kick that you actually have to worry about. Whereas with single firing, it's a lot easier to do it. It's a lot easier to control it, to pace your shots, fire consistently. Although with the double tap, if you hit those two shots, you're doing a ton of damage. You're doing at least 70 damage to somebody, if not more, if you hit a headshot. It was strong last season when it was not in the care package. It is even stronger now because they brought back double tap, increased rate of fire, increased damage slightly. Pretty dang good. We're gonna go on to the next S tier weapon in my opinion, the triple take. Honestly, S tier this season. It is so easy to use. It's very forgiving to hit 20 damage per shot. It is just so good. My only gripe with it is that it takes 3 ammo per shot, which makes sense, but it's still a little bit tricky to manage your ammo. You have to have a lot of energy ammo, which can be hard. It can be hard. It works great at a long range, it works great at mid range, and it works great at close range because you can use it as a shotgun. I have won many fights where I've hit a nasty 111 headshot just hip firing with it up close. Like, it is so good. Going along, this might be a hot take. I'm putting the 30-30 with its dual shell up in A tier. It is so good with that reload time because it literally gets it right up there immediately. I mean, you can refill up in like 1 second and it doesn't use a whole lot of ammo. It hits hard. It hits for like 57 if you have a charged up shot on a body shot, which is nasty. I mean, that is as much as the longbow, which is insane in my opinion. I will say 30-30 without dual shell is a B tier. It is good, it's viable, but it's not that good. I mean, the reload time is really killer because you do have to take a lot of time to reload every single shell. The hop up is definitely good. I'm going up with scatter shot or shatter caps. We're gonna put shatter caps in B tier as well. It's good. It's not super good, so I don't know, maybe even put it down to C tier. Moving on. Let's switch it up. Let's go for the devotion. We're gonna put the devotion down in D tier, honestly. Yeah, it's decent, but it's really not that good. The spin up time takes too long. Energy ammo is hard to find. It uses up so much, and it does have considerable recoil. With the turbocharger, I will put it in C tier. It's pretty good with the C tier with the turbocharger, but yeah, it's not as good. I would much rather have a Havoc, which I'd put at C and B tier with no turbo and turbo. So, because it's stronger than the Devo in my opinion. It's easier to control the recoil. It's got better hip fire. It's got a better fire rate. All that jazz. We are going to do the bow check. Bow check, not gonna lie, I'm gonna put it all in C tier. Now, don't get me wrong, there are some people that are absolutely cracked with it, like Cyrene, if you've seen him on the channel. The bow check is actually completely ridiculous when you hit your shots with it, but the ammo is hard to find for one. That draw time can kill you. If you're doing 20 damage per shot with it, you're not gonna win the fight most likely. And actually, I'm gonna put shatter caps down in D tier. Shatter caps with the bow check, just not worth it. That's what I think. So agree with me, disagree with me down in the comments. We'll fight it out. Okay, we're gonna go with the charge rifle. If you use the charge rifle consistently, you're here. Charge rifle is just not super good. Like, yeah, it's super annoying and it's super cheesy, but let's be real, it is. No, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Please don't do the charge rifle. It's the cringe rifle. Exact. We're gonna go with the shotguns. I'm gonna put all of the shotguns. Ooh. I'm gonna put all the shotguns down in B tier, but I might put the Mastiff with dual shell and the Peacekeeper in A tier. I honestly think those two shotguns are the best right now. The dual shell is really good. Quick reload. I mean, you reload in like 2 seconds. But PK's been slapping this season. Like, I've been feeling really good with it. It's feeling a lot more consistent than previously. But the EVA 8 is... It's not as... It's definitely been nerfed. It's at a good spot. So this is what I would rank it as. I'm going with another one that was super meta last season, the L-Star. We're gonna put the L-Star also at B tier. It's basically, it feels like a turbo Havoc with its damage output, but it's just not as good as last season. It's got good damage. Energy ammo is hard to find because everybody's using it with the triple take, and yeah. But going along with the last energy weapon, the Volt, we're gonna put it up in A tier. The Volt has been feeling so good. So good. I love doing triple take with the Volt because you only have to have energy ammo. And yeah, it's just chef's kiss. You know what's weird? I feel like the P2020 is better than the RE45 right now. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna put P2020 in D tier as well. It's decent. I mean, it's decent. D for decent, let's be real. And we're gonna put the RE45 right next to it. RE45 hasn't been feeling as good this season. There's just so many other guns that are just so much better than the RE45. I mean, you have the R99 and the car that are both much better. So we're gonna put both of those at D tier. Now we've got the Sentinel and the Longbow. Let's see. Honestly, I don't feel much of a difference with the Sentinel with the Deadeye's tempo versus without it. I'm gonna put both of those at B tier. And I think I'm also gonna put the Longbow at B tier. They're pretty average. They're pretty comparable. So I think we'll leave them there. If you're using a Sentinel on controller, I think it's definitely kind of goated with aim assist. Got my first win on controller with the Sentinel and the Flatline. So I've got some Sentinel love in me now. I will always have a special place when I'm on controller. Longbow, great rate of fire. But you know what? I'm actually going to move the Longbow down. It actually doesn't hit as hard as the 30-30 anymore. Snipers are kind of meh right now. It's more of the marksman with the 30-30, G7, and the triple take right now. Those are kind of a lot more meta. Okay, moving on. Oof. Rampage, A tier. Rampage is super good. Super good. You've got huge ammo capacity, and it's just fun to use. Like, you can shred through teams. It's not S tier because there's definitely other things that are better. It is a good, solid pick. Other things, we're going to put Flatline S tier. Flatline is so strong right now. So strong. Feels so good. I mean, you've got literally the best. If you do triple take with the Flatline, you have the best of both worlds. You have great mid to close range with the Flatline, and you've got super great hip fire. It has honestly some of the best hip fire in the game right now. The Volt and the Flatline, I think, have the best hip fire. So, so good. Next we got the Hemlock. I'm gonna put Hemlock down in C tier. It's not that good. I mean, there are some people that are cracked with it. I don't feel much of a difference with the boosted loader with it, so it's like not really much changing there. And then going on with the Wingman, the Wingman is super good. I don't think it's S tier necessarily, but I do notice a difference with the boosted loader. You do have that faster reload, which is really, really, really nice. Definitely Wingman B tier and A tier. Some people are absolutely cracked with it, but there you go. Last but not least, we have some of the SMGs and a R301. Prowler. I honestly think most of these could go in A tier. We're gonna put B tier. It is a good weapon. It's a good, solid choice, but it's gonna be outshined by the Flatline, the Volt, the Alternator, and I think both of these weapons. The R99 I'm gonna put also with the car in A tier. They're both super strong. I think the car might be edging it out just a little bit. So I'll probably put that towards the top of A tier actually. The R99 is fantastic just because it really is one of the best SMGs. I mean, it's got a super high DPS, but it's actually out DPS'd by the car. So the car is gonna put it out just a little bit higher. And the fact that the car can use any extended magazine between heavy or light and can use either ammo, it is just so good. And its hip fire is really good. I really like the car hip fire. I prefer hip firing with it as opposed to ADS. But yeah, we had in the chat that the Prowler is A tier if you're good with it, D tier if you're bad with it. Absolutely. Absolutely. I've seen tons of pros actually that aren't good with it, and that I know specifically on mouse and keyboard. It's hard to hit your shots unless you're right in front of them. Yeah, definitely to average it out, we'll put it in B tier. Last but not least, we have the R301, which I'm gonna put as A tier. The flatline edges it out just a little bit. It's still so good. It is a solid weapon you can use as a primary or a secondary. I've loved using it with the triple take or using it with a shotgun. It's so good. So we'll definitely keep that up there in A tier. But there you have it, everybody. There is our season 11 Apex Legends weapons tier list. Tell me what you think down in the comments. Let me know what you think. What would you change? What do you totally agree with? What do you not agree with? How would you change it and make your own? And thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you on the next time.